Hey guys, this is X-Brays here. Today, what are we doing? So, basically, I've already, did this video before, but I have to re-record it because it actually it got deleted on accident. But we are back on this Levono laptop that I've had for some time. I've done many videos on it before, and I just wanted to do another video on it, honestly. Um, and basically, I installed SteamOS on this laptop, basically, and it's kind of performing okay, I guess. It kind of isn't, but it's it's performing well enough, basically. We might have to forget that controller. I'm trying to pair my controller to this laptop and it's not popping up like it's supposed to. Okay, it is connected, which is good. So we are going to be testing a few games on here. You guys can barely see, the FPS and everything, but we are getting 50 FPS through this menu and everything. So, we should be good. But we are going to try the Halo the Master Chief Collection. Because, this game is a lot older, and you can turn it down the graphics a lot in this game. So, we are going to try the SteamOS, basically. Actually, let me show you this is real SteamOS. So basically, if I go to settings and I go to system, you will see SteamOS crash reports and SteamOS Hollow, and this is 3.8.16, OS build, Valve, kernel version, things like that. And this is authentic AMD and CPU name AMD 3250U with Radeon graphics, 2.60 gigahertz, 2 cores, CPU logical cores, 4 RAM size. I upgraded from 12 gigabytes of RAM to 20. And it has Radeon Vega 3 graphics. AMD Rad V and VRAM size is 7. Um, I will show you my settings for the display. Maximum game resolution 1280 by 720. You don't need very big resolution for this game. For this laptop. 720p should do just fine. It says it's validating. This is going to take some time because our network is super slow right now. Because this laptop does not have Ethernet at all. So we're going to try something else, okay? We are going to try Multiverses. I know this game has shut down and all, but, it's always a good game to test on lower end hardware because it will work on lower end hardware. I'm not talking about, old 4th gen i5s, i7s, i3s. This game won't work on that if it's a laptop because the integrated graphics being super old. Those were not budget laptops back in the day. I'm talking about budget laptops like nowadays, with AMD hardware can run games. Not good. Radeon Vega 3 graphics is apparently very old. But you know, it was put into something like a better CPU and all. We're just gonna skip the Vulkan shaders. But you know, um, basically, you know, these newer budget laptops are definitely a lot better whenever it comes to gaming. Um, like AMD based. I would never buy a old laptop ever again. I have an old laptop that is running Ubuntu. It's like a little server that I currently have. But yeah, selecting your fighter. Actually, let me show you the settings. Everything is on very low, basically. Um, and we will just do Batman, I guess. I don't know how to play this game, but you know, we'll do all bots basically. And I am aware that once you add more people to the game, it will, you know, lag the game even more because using the CPU power basically. But as you can see, we are actually in game. I'm really terrible at these type of games. That's why I've hardly, you know, played these games like whenever this game was actually online play. But, you know, it's still a fun game to mess with, you know, even though you can't play online anymore. I heard there's supposed to be some type of private server that may go on with this, but, you know, that's not always, you know, gonna be the same. They're still working on those private servers mainly to get everything back in order. But yeah, as you guys can see, I would call this playable. You don't need like very high FPS to play these type of games, but yeah. Wait, turn to lobby. Okay, I just want to show you guys that game. But the menus are actually working, basically. And we will quit that game. Next game, we are going to try Fall Guys, basically. Fall Guys is a fun game, in my opinion. It's a bit frustrating at first, but it is fun, honestly, in my opinion. And Fall Guys is SteamOS compatible, funny enough, even though it's owned by Epic. So I don't understand that really, but you know, it's whatever. Because Epic won't, you know, do Fortnite on Linux, basically. Because Fortnite on PC uses two anti-cheats uh to stop all the cheaters and everything, basically. Even though those two inlet cheats are, compatible on Linux now. But we're not trying, like, very graphical games because this laptop cannot run very graphical games. I know that for sure. We've tried that on Windows. I wouldn't mind doing a updated Windows, type game, update for this laptop after the SteamOS video uploads. So I will work on that, but I plan on making this laptop into a server, basically. Well, just letting you guys know. But it is loading. I'm trying rewards. Actually, let me show you the settings. Everything on low, basically. Everything on low. This game does run okay-ish. And once you get in the match, you will see. And yet again, this is on SteamOS, basically. Just an FYI. Okay, we are in Fall Guys. Not the most prettiest game, but controller wasn't working for a second. But as you can see, it is super laggy. And, it's really hard to tell certain things, honestly. But it is super laggy, basically. Yeah, I wouldn't call this playable. We're getting around like 28 FPS, really. But level over. Okay, cool. But I wouldn't call that playable. That actually kind of hurt my eyes. And then Red Dead Redemption 1. We will test that next. And then the last one might actually surprise you guys that we're even testing. Because that game has not been heard of before. But I like doing these videos, like, from this kind of, like, setup because these budget laptops, because the graphics are, so low tier, it's hard on the eyes, basically. No, not hard on the eyes, but it's hard on the GPU to display out to another capture card. So that's why we're doing a secondary compute, like doing the camera this way, basically. Just to let you guys know. But we will load into the world. We're currently at nighttime. We will sleep for we can get some, shadows in the game and everything. Because I'm at the beginning of the game of where it's nighttime and everything, basically. But we will run around on our horse, basically. But 30 FPS in the loading screen's not bad. Still pretty impressed this game's actually on PC now. Look at it was ported. We're at 30 FPS, 60 hertz, 1280 by 720. Everything on low, the lowest it can go. We are not going to try resolution scaling because that just slows down the game, basically. We will turn everything down, okay? We will also turn off VSync. Frame rate capped to 30 FPS. Okay. So, we should be good. We're just gonna load up in normal mode, basically. We will sleep, because we do need to sleep. It is nighttime in the game. Let's save game. So, it is daytime right now. We are getting around 22 FPS basically. And this is, basically, how it's gonna run. It looks very low graphic, but, that's okay. I do not mind at all. But, I don't know if we ever tried this game on Windows, because at the time, everything was still being updated and everything, basically. And this game wasn't out yet when I was doing videos. But I will do an update for Windows, basically, since there is more games to test than normal. But, yeah, so it's like, I love Red Dead Redemption because it's a Wild West game, basically. But, you're probably going to be getting at least, like 360 level of graphics on this laptop, basically. But it's like 30 FPS mostly, so I have to deal with that mostly. But yeah. But this game is such an amazing game that I do plan on playing it on stream one day, but not anytime soon. Because we're still trying to complete Red Dead Redemption 2. And dead. I blame the lag. But look at our CPU, it's almost being used all the way. Which is nice. And then, the GPU is not being read because SteamOS can't really, read the GPU. But because this is all AMD based, it will work. Which is cool, basically. But every now and then you will dip to, 19%, basically. But, and we are plugged in. In the BIOS, I do have a setting to do maximum performance for this laptop. So, that's why this gaming is pretty good. But if you go in the BIOS, I will show you before we end this video. Because I'm trying to keep this video, short, basically. We are gonna shut down, and I am gonna show you guys the BIOS for once, because I don't think I've ever showed you the BIOS of this laptop. Might actually be surprisingly. Okay, we are entering the BIOS. So basically, this is the BIOS. Looks old, right? But this is the Levono. Oh, wait. We were not even on the performance mode. Okay. Let's test those same games then. Let's start with Red Dead first then. Okay. Okay. We are just waiting for SteamOS to like boot back up. Man, see, that was a lot faster. I wonder if the games are gonna be a lot faster now. So we will boot up Red Dead again. Yeah, see, processing Vulkan shaders actually was pretty damn fast this time around, which is cool. Okay, it's booting. It's booting up the Rockstar launcher. Okay, gotta go through the menus again. We are testing this game again because we are on extreme performance now. Normal. So we are getting better FPS, which is cool. Still not so playable, but you know, 30 FPS was basically the 360. And you're getting these 360 level graphics. But 30 FPS. Pretty decent, right? Which is cool. Forgot this game was kind of semi-realistic at the same time. With the horse mechanics and everything. But you know, basically going in between these, you know, these things and such is, you know, gonna be, you know, well, it seems like it's working, right? 30 FPS, which is doable for this game. It's, you know, playable. But after turning on that setting in the BIOS, basically. Well, we are going to close this game. Then we're gonna boot up Fall Guys again to see if it is playable this time around. And then we'll do, yeah, see, processing Vulkan shaders actually was pretty fast this time around, so I'm hopeful. Okay, we are in the lobby this time around. We are gonna go to options, and I will show you the settings that I currently have. FPS rate, we can't go lower than 60, that's fine. We are gonna go into solos, okay? And then afterwards, we will try multiverses after this. And then there's this other game I want to try with you guys that we didn't try last time, which is called the Carters 2. It's a really cool game. It's like Crash Bandicoot, but it like Nitro Kart, but it has community community maps, which is really cool. And I like testing it on lower end hardware because, that game doesn't take that much to, run. Basically. Well, they are working on that game for the Switch port, but I'm unsure if it will have community maps. I doubt it will. Roll on. Okay, we're getting at least 40 FPS now, which is cool. So it's like doing that, that ultimate performance was actually worth it then. Only if I can see. But average about 30 FPS basically. Okay. Qualified. Okay, I think that's enough for testing Fall Guys. We will exit. And then multiverses. Let's see. Just noting, I would recommend getting a cooling pad if you put on Ultimate Performance because it may get really hot. Possibly. Okay, this particular game, I'm going to just skip the Vulkan shaders because it's going to take a while. to get that done. Okay. We're getting at least 26, 27 FPS in these menus. Just noting that this is a Unreal Engine 5 game, just so you know. Though, you know, it can be hit or miss or something like that along the lines. So, but yeah. So around 30, around 25 FPS. I would not call. I mean, you don't really need super high FPS for this game. You just need decent FPS. So it's like, you know, because it's just, you know, a fighting game basically. I was never really good at these type of games. I'm not good at fighting games in general. Okay. This game had a very weird, you know, like release cycle and everything. Because they released it into a beta and didn't tell anyone, and then they unreleased it and, you know, to pull it into a full release whenever people paid full money, and it pissed off a lot of people because this game's cosmetics were not cheap, I believe. Okay. One last game I want to show you guys. We won't play a full game because this video is already getting too long. But it's called The Carters 2. They tried optimizing this game for the Steam Deck, and I heard it wasn't very successful in the reviews, honestly. I even have a negative review on this game because my workshop content got broken in an update. I had to re-download it all. I have no clue what happened. But it's like this game. I like this game, right? It's a cool game because, you know, it's has all community maps and everything. We'll do my favorite, Coconut Mall. And as you can see, it is super lagging the menus. But let's see what FPS we get in the game itself. I'm actually very curious. Around 30 FPS. That's fine. But as you guys can see, it is working very well. We'll do like one lap and then I'll quit the game, okay? Okay. We have Mario Kart at home, guys. Well, not really. It's not really Mario Kart, if you think about it. But it is definitely a really cool game. I mean, we're on Coconut Mall in a crazy taxi. Okay. Oh yeah, I was only gonna do one lap. Okay. Let's exit. So, General, is SteamOS okay with this laptop? I would say so because you're not going to be playing, like the most high graphic games and all. And, and it's just, it's kind of something in reality. It's not the most graphically intense like laptop that you can have, but it can play some games, honestly. It really can. And I will do a separate video for an updated comparison with Windows, and I'll work on that tonight. But I just mainly wanted to make another video on this laptop because you don't know if anything has updated or anything like that. So in general, I will do an updated video on this laptop, on Windows. Okay. I will do a lot of other things with this laptop soon. And I'll make another video. Okay. But for right now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I like making these type of videos because I like being informative about, like laptops in general. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See you.